Community to Community's vision is development with dignity. No shame, no pity. We amplify dignity and progress led by the people of Petit Guave. In a world too often defined by headlines, something incredible is happening. Communities here don't just survive, they are working hard to thrive. Community to Community is working with the people of Petit Guave to restore vital resources. A much-needed canal is built one hand at a time. Roads are carved into a mountain with simple tools, bringing safe passage to their children and elders. This is development with dignity. And while access to continuous healthcare is saving lives, trees planted today will nourish future generations. Each person is building, planting, and teaching. We are not the heroes. You are. The person willing to support this movement and say, yes, I want to be a restorer of dignity. Join Community to Community.
Bonjour, bonjour tout le monde. Hi, everybody. We're 25. I don't mean 25 years old, although I think some of us wish we were. Today is the 25th episode of Restoring Dignity with C2C. Next time I'm going to find clapping hands sounds, and I'm going to use that. 25 episodes ago, plus 2 years, this was a dream that I had to bring to you updates, stories, and examples, and an invitation of how you can be a part of something much greater than yourself, to learn more about C2C, to learn more about the work that we're doing and how it is counter-narrative to what you may have heard about Haiti. I love my country with all of my heart. And if it wasn't for my sweet father right back here, I wouldn't have the love I have for my country. Both him and my mom instilled that in me, even though they went through much hardship to get here. And they are the quintessential immigrant story of people who came here to the US for a better life for themselves, for their children, and their children's children, right? Which is the immigrant story. And despite what is going on right now here, that story is the truth. That story is the facts, that people would not leave their 85-degree weather every single day country that has beaches everywhere unless there was a reason for them to seek a better life. So I dedicate today's episode to Gérard and Ghislaine Euseb, my mom and dad, who, if not for them, I clearly would not be here, but I clearly would not know my country, love my country, and be able to continue to rock Haiti wherever I go in the world. Next person I want to thank is my VA, Connie K. Siu, who, without her, none of these episodes would also be here, because she came in literally 6 months ago, I'm going to say, and hit the ground running with Community to Community. And I said I wanted to do these lives. She was like, oh, I know how to do that. And the last time somebody said that to me, I was like, it's easy. Just, get StreamYard and do it. And I was like, oh, Lord, this is going to be hard. And it was, which is why I did not do it myself. And this is why you should know how to develop your strengths and manage your weaknesses. My strength is here with you, with this mic, bringing the information that you need to know to really understand the work that Community to Community is doing. My strength is not producing podcasts and lives. So I found somebody who that was their strength. And now I'm here 25 episodes later. So here's to the next 25. And thank you, Connie. I appreciate you very much. So again, I say, bonjour tout le monde. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Restoring Dignity with C2C. If you're joining us live or on the replay, thank you for being here. Today's conversation is one that needs courage, context, and truth. Because if the only way you know about Haiti is through the headlines, you're missing the story. And when stories are incomplete, dignity gets lost. As you saw in our intro video, we always try to do balanced reporting. I am not saying that there isn't challenges on the ground, that there isn't violence, that there isn't corruption. But Haiti has not cornered the market on that. Those things are everywhere, all over the world. Wherever there's humans, there's violence, there's corruption. That's just the way the planet works. So if you are a human and you are on this earth, then I'm sure that you've had some exposure to that. So we just want balanced reporting, that while that information is being just repeatedly on replay about us, that we also get the balanced reporting of how beautiful our country is, how much we've contributed not just to Haiti's growth, but the world, and how many Haitians have been instrumental in moving the needle forward all over the world, including here in America, that actually wouldn't be America if Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Toussaint Louverture had not forced Napoleon's hand to sell Louisiana to the United States, and therefore becoming the United States. And Chicago would not even be Chicago if not for a Haitian man, Henri Dussabe, had he not founded Chicago. So here we are in Black History Month, and I'm just giving you this for free. So Black history is Haitian history, because Black history is all over the world. As my pastor would say, that was free. So you've probably heard this phrase before. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But I'm here to tell you that statement does not tell the truth. Haiti is not the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Haiti is the most exploited country in the Western Hemisphere. And that distinction matters, because when you understand the difference between poverty and exploitation, you will look at things through a different lens. It's easy to call people poor, but it's better to ask, how did they get that way? Because they didn't fall out the sky poor. They didn't come out the ground poor. They were not born poor. I hope that there's room in your heart, in your mind, in your pathology to be open to hearing a different story and a different version to what you've been told. Most headlines focus on violence, political instability, armed groups, economic collapse. But the headlines rarely ask, how did this happen? And who benefited? And who paid the price? Those are the questions I'm asking you to ask going forward when you hear anything about Haiti. How did this happen? Who benefited? And who paid the price? When the media only reports symptoms and not systems, people begin to believe that instability is inherent to Haiti, that instead of imposed upon Haiti, let's say that again, that instability is inherent to Haiti instead of imposed upon Haiti. That framing is harmful. And it erases the dignity, resilience, determination, and leadership of the Haitian people. If you want people to feel some way about another group of people, the first thing you do is dehumanize them. If you take away their humanity, then other people will feel like they can treat them any way that they want. That is why dignity is so important. It has been my experience in the last 15 years that that is the one thing you must hold on to no matter what. And arguably, it is the one thing that no one can take away from you unless you give it to them. Y'all remember that scene in the Tina Turner movie where she was in a violently abusive relationship and marriage with Ike Turner. And she had been in that situation for decades. And at one point, she began to awaken to herself and to her value as a human being, and understanding that there was a greater meaning for her life. And the moment that she stood up for herself, he attacked her. But what he didn't know in that moment was that he was fighting someone who had reclaimed her dignity. So she fought back. And the scene is very powerful because they were in the limousine going to an event, and she had on this beautiful white suit. And in that ride from the hotel to the location, they fought like a Mike Tyson type fight, like blows, shots fired type of fight. And when they got to the location, there was her bloody nose, and she got multiple good licks in on him. Her suit also had blood all over it. But she stepped out of the limousine, looked at the blood on the jacket, and she pulled it down, and she threw her shoulders back, and she squared herself up, and she walked into the hotel and walked straight to the front desk and said, "My name is Tina Turner, and I would like to book a room in this hotel." Now, visually, the front desk person is looking at her like, your wig is a little tilted. Clear you got a bloody nose and there's blood all over your jacket. But what the front desk person felt was that this woman had dignity. And it was on that dignity that she got the room. People will always know whether or not you have your dignity. And I believe the decision she made in that car was that you can take everything else, but my dignity stays with me. And I'm going to leave here with it. And you're going to know. That was a turning point for her. From that moment forward, her dignity was the only important thing for her. And she reclaimed everything else after that and was victorious because her dignity was her anchor. And while the headlines often focus on the abuse and the domestic violence, they didn't focus on her strength as a human being and the fact that she reclaimed her dignity and went on to have a very successful career in life, much like they do with Haiti as well. So let's talk about what the headlines leave out. Colonial debt. After Haiti won its hard-fought independence in 1804, the only successful revolt of an enslaved people in history, France forced Haiti to pay what they called a freedom debt. And this was to remove, this was to pay their former enslavers for what they are now going to lose because they do not have the ability to enslave. And I want to be clear, Haiti was never supposed to be a country, right? Haiti was supposed to provide human labor, free, sugar, wood, coffee for France. So for the aristocrats to furnish their homes and to sweeten their coffee. So think about what I'm saying here. My country was never supposed to exist in all of time. I was never supposed to exist as a Haitian person. The debt that France imposed upon Haiti for having the audacity for freedom is equivalent today to somewhere around 21 to 30 billion dollars. So you can imagine if you owed somebody $30 billion, what that would do to your life and your livelihood for generations. Because quiet as it's kept, I don't think you could pay them back in your lifetime. And that's exactly what happened for Haiti. This drained Haiti's economy for over 120 years. And also, this was a very quiet, secret thing. Because think about this. 120 years ago, a family who was being paid this freedom debt passed it down to their children and their children. So as early as the early 2000s, there are families who were receiving that in France quietly and said nothing, while they're watching the news of the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. What type of person does that? I'll leave that there. Number 2, foreign intervention. The U.S. occupied Haiti from 1915 to 1934. They took control over the Haitian financial systems, and there was repeated political interference. Actually took all of the gold that was in our bank for safekeeping and put it in a bank that would later come to be known as Citibank. Then there are the extractive aid models, where billions of dollars are raised for Haiti, but rarely invested in Haitian communities. I know this for a fact because after the 2010 earthquake, I left my job because I knew none of that money was ever going to reach Haiti, much less the people who needed it. And 10 years later, the reports came out that that was exactly the case. And I believe it was somewhere between $10 and $12 billion that was raised in our name, but we never saw it. But you often saw, oh, Haiti's a failed state, and it can't seem to get its act together. Haiti can't catch a break. Well, what you don't know is that 95 cents on every dollar that went to Haiti never made it there, because when you add all of the expats that were living there, their cars, their nannies, their drivers, their hazard pay, and their pay period, and the projects that started but didn't finish, 95% of that came right back to where it came from. The studies show that less than 2% of the funds that were raised ever went to any Haitian organizations or the Haitian, the government or the communities themselves. So what does that create? It creates dependency. It creates fragility. It creates distrust. Even for myself, in my first trip in 2010, people definitely looked at me sideways because they'd already been through this. I did not know that at the time. What I'm sharing with you, a lot of this I learned myself. I had to relearn my country's history, the truth. And it took an earthquake and me leaving my job to question what I was being taught. It's important that you understand that instability is not inherited by bloodline. It's inherited through systems. racism, sexism, xenophobia, fear of immigrants. This is what we're even going through now. So as you can see, there's nothing new under the sun. Why? Because, hey, if it ain't broke, these are tried and true things that are used, especially by the media. And I know it's not everyone. I will repeat what I've said, which is we just want balanced reporting. If you're going to say poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, please say how this country became the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, because I think that your readers, your viewers, your listeners would want to know that so that they can be, how do you say, educated listeners, viewers, and readers. I know I would be. So if this system and the way that's been done before and these narratives cause and create dependency, fragility, and distrust, here's what does work. Local leadership, community accountability, trust-based partnerships. This is the C2C way. This is the C2C framework, model, commitment. This is what we do. And this is how we do it. And for 15 years, it has worked very well. So I can honestly say now that it is a proven concept. At C2C, we do not arrive with answers. We arrive with questions in humility. Like we say in Haiti, tout moun c'est moun. Every person is a person. And in full transparency, I had to learn this because when I came in 2010, I certainly was trying to save them all. Because I thought I had the best knowledge, I had the best data, I had the best experience, experts, everything. I did not value the people that I actually came to help because I didn't think that they could help themselves, mainly because I had been indoctrinated in the narrative myself. So if I can get out, you can get out. It took me questioning, it took me engaging, it took me really reading and understanding and dismantling the miseducation of MarieYolaine in order to rebuild it on truth and on engagement and on humility to where I am now. I've not arrived anywhere. I'm still going up this mountain of truth, but I'm glad I'm not where I used to be. So if I can encourage you, there are books that you can read, there's movies that you can watch that can really help you to understand. I'll give you a few right now. The Black Jacobins is a good one. There was another one that was just on the top of my head. When Helping Hurts, Toxic Charity, The White Man's Burden. These are all great books. Bitter Sugar, that talks about the whole sugar plantation that has been going on almost up until this point, that can really start to open your mind to how did we get here, as opposed to they're just the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. So I challenge you to challenge yourself. Get these books, start reading, right? So for us, it is working through and with our partner communities. Our partner community associations identify the priorities, they manage implementation, they hold leadership accountable, and they sustain the work when the NGOs leave. This was a big issue in 2010, because in 2010, studies showed that after they looked at how many NGOs were in Haiti, before there was approximately 6,000 for every one Haitian person. After the 2010 earthquake, it was 15,000. So do the math. You imagine if one person had access to 15,000 nonprofits in all areas, health, water, sanitation, education. Shouldn't the country be in a much better position? It should. So certainly Haiti does not need one more nonprofit. one more missions team. It doesn't. It doesn't. We've jumped the shark. Like we're at cap. We're at the top. What we need is to invest in the people who are already there, who are having the lived experience and literally doing asset-based mapping and having both groups come to the table. That's how C2C works. We are two sides of the same coin. So APHD and ODCP as our stakeholder partners associations, they do what we can't do and we do what they can't do. We raise funds, we bring awareness, and then they execute with urgency and they implement. This system, this framework, that's the one that works. That is development with dignity. You don't build stability for people. You build it with them. With them. And that is what we've been doing for 15 years. And I'm grateful to our partners like the Haitian Women's Collective, Madre. And I'm excited to say that as a recipient of last year's award, which is sitting right here, the Diaspora Engagement Award with Haiti from the Association of Haitian Professionals, we recently partnered with them. And this evening, I have the honor, along with Responsable Eugène, of gathering with the Association of Haitian Professionals. So spaces like this matter. We're going to be talking about the update on Hurricane Melissa, which is out of the headlines, but this hurricane was devastating. Over 400 people lost their homes. The lives that were lost were especially hard because the majority of them were children and babies. So the question again is not that this happened, but A, why did this happen? Because the levees broke, because the river that runs through the town was not maintained and overflowed into people's homes at 2:00 in the morning, because finances are not getting to the correct places and the folks that are on the ground are not funded to the level that they can engage in these things. So spaces like this matter to talk about these things. Diaspora leadership matters, collective voices matter. And tonight at 7 p.m., we continue that conversation with those who were impacted by Hurricane Melissa and those who want to come alongside the continuing work to serve. So I'm excited tonight because Responsable Eugène is going to be there and you'll be able to hear directly from him. So, and there's actually another gentleman who also is working in Haiti, specifically in the areas around Tigouave that were impacted as well. So you'll be able to hear from him. Jean-Claude Serin will also be there. So just want to thank the Association of Haitian Professionals for this partnership and this opportunity. So, you know, as Responsable Eugène would say, nous pas chita bois croisé. We don't sit here with our arms just crossed. We stays working, we stays moving, we stays on the grind. So I have exciting news to share. You ready? Actually, I could show you better than I can tell you. Take a look. Yes. The 4th annual Gérard and Ghislaine Euseb Golf Classic is confirmed for Thursday, May 14th, 2026. So save the date. We'll have more information of when you can register. And I will say this year, the story is going to be about breaking ground for the Bernard Dussel Health and Wellness Center that is going to impact an entire community that we've been working with for 15 years, but not just them. Since it'll only be the only health center on the mountain, it is going to impact all of the surrounding communities as well. And I believe it's going to have generational impact, because your health is your wealth. It's the most important thing that you have. So save the date. Save the date, save the date. Thursday, May 14th, 2026. Bring your friends, bring your network, get your foursome together. And I'm happy to say that the golf clinic is also returning. So for those of you who are like, oh no, I don't know how to play golf, no problem. You can come to the golf clinic and you'll be taught how to play so that next year you can get your foursome or your twosome together and you can actually go out on the greens. And if you want to just join us for lunch, you can do that too. So sponsorship opportunities, all of the good things, I will be talking about those in the coming weeks. So again, save the date. Details are coming. Super excited. I'm inviting you to be a part of something much bigger than yourself. Because despite the funding setbacks and Hurricane Melissa, we are breaking ground on this health center this year. Lord Jesus. I'm believing this is a supernatural ask. This is going to be supernatural, period. But despite those setbacks, we have a saying in Haiti, a proverb that says, "Petit petit oiseau bâtit nichely," which is little by little, the sparrow builds her nest. So even though Hurricane Melissa pushed us back a little bit and we had to move the funds in order to address the devastation, we're back on our grind raising funds, and our goal is to start building, and prayerfully to finish building this year. So again, mark your calendars, May 14th, 2026. And I've already shared with you that we had to move some of the funds from the last Golf Classic in September because Hurricane Melissa came in October. One of the things that's important for C2C is, where's your money going? We're very transparent about where the funds are going. So let's talk transparency. This week, your support is funding emergency preparedness for hurricane season, because hurricane season is every year from June to November. So November is not the time to start planning for it. We never know if we're going to get hit or not, so we need to be prepared. That is shovels and boots and plywood and preparing the health committee and the health workers as well to be ready. Even right now, today, APHD is on the ground making emergency preparedness kits for the folks that were hit the hardest, and also addressing, pushing back on a possible cholera outbreak to make sure that folks have everything that they need, including information and materials to make sure that they can protect themselves against cholera. So again, while I'm talking to you, the road and the canal clearing for flood prevention is happening, and trauma healing training for our community nurses. So food, hygiene, and clean water access, this is what dignity looks like in action. So here's my invitation, not a pitch. Stay informed, stay connected, stay invested, because the return on your investment is tangible. It's tangible. And for those of you who have been our C2C neighbors, like myself, even though I'm the CEO, I'm a C2C neighbor myself since 2014, that the return on my investment is over 300 educated students, is a fully built school, is access to the internet on the mountain. C2C neighbors are people who believe dignity should be the standard, not the exception. So I will end where I started. Narratives matter. Narratives matter. They may be words, but they impact real people. And remember when we were in school and somebody would say something hurtful, And we would say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I'm an adult now, and I can tell you that's not true. Words can't hurt you. They can. So the narrative of poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, it hurts me when I hear it. And I know that it hurts the people to whom it is directed. So be mindful when you hear something before you repeat it to get the facts. Because whatever circle of influence you're in, your words matter. Context matters. And dignity always matters. So, as we say in Haiti, "Mais en pile, chai palu." With many hands, the load is lighter. I am a C2C Neighbor monthly donor, and I invite you to join me and become a C2C Neighbor monthly donor today. Merci en pile. Thank you very much. I hope today that you learned something new. I hope that your narrative has been challenged. I hope that shallow ground was broken and that you are encouraged and inspired to learn more about Haiti, learn more about C2C, which of course you can go to our website, c2chaiti.org. And I hope that you are moved from being a spectator to being a participant in this work. We'd be happy to have you. So thank you for being with me today. Thank you for being with me on the 25th episode of Restoring Dignity with C2C. Merci en pile. Que bon Dieu bénisse. May God bless you. Until next time. Bye-bye.